Hello again. We're going to do some more revising today. This is probably the most fun part of the revising, and I save it for last in the semester because you have to really understand who you are as a student and a writer before you can really get into revising for voice. And I don't mean loudness or, that kind of voice, but voice is the magic quality in writing, what allows the reader's eyes to move over silent print and hear the writer speaking. Now, when you're writing fiction, this is all the time essential. When you're writing academic work, sometimes finding your own voice or using your own voice is difficult. Um, a lot of us have been taught that um, we should distance ourselves from the writing, from the reader, from the subject. And that can be the strategy that you have to have, especially if you're doing scientific writing or technical writing. But usually, and in our current, climate of education, it's mainly your point is to tell me what you know, right? Tell your instructors what you know, how it should work, what it should do. And all of that is all kinds of interesting when you try to use that kind of big words and um, third person all the time and all of that. And I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying that there are other ways to go about it. Um, One of the things that you have to ask yourself is the language that you're writing, is it yours? Or is it theirs? And by theirs, I mean school, okay, academic. School's view of language is often associated with a certain level of diction, okay, large polysyllabic words that hide the meaning deep within themselves and only give it up when taken apart and researched. Not the easiest language to mimic. Nevertheless, academic diction is a necessary part of academic writing. Um, it is to a point. I have every semester, I have students who take that to a new level. If you don't understand the words that you're writing on the page, I'm going to know. You're going to know. Your readers are going to know. And there's nothing that limits your credibility like a voice that isn't yours. Um, and what counts as academic writing is changing. Um, we have all kinds of inroads now into personalized writing, personalized research, um, what your research makes you feel, how it works, why it works. Um, your voice is important. And so to revise your papers for voice, consider these questions. This is about halfway down the page. Does your voice illuminate the important information in your text or hide it? Hedging tends to make information seem unimportant while direct statements highlight that it is important. So go through your rough draft and underline or highlight every might, seem, could, perhaps, possibly. All of those words that say, not quite. Make sure that you need them. I would say most of the time we don't. And if we can rework those sentences so that instead of using the might, possibly, whatever, just say it out loud. Okay. They'll be much better. Your writing will be much clearer and you'll own it more. Do your words reveal your character or try to hide it? You cannot effectively write an opinion you do not hold. It shows through. Now, I know in all kinds of forensics, and by forensics, I mean like speech and debate kind of stuff, um, you have to be able to argue the other side. That I get. But if you're taking a stand on something in your writing, you should hold that opinion as your own. If you don't, you need to identify it as such. Um, do your words speak the truth or try to hide it? Why should your reader believe you? Go back to the rhetorical triangle. Your ethics, your ethos matters every time you put pen to paper or, type something up on the computer. Can your reader understand your voice? Your effective voice can be heard, respected, and understood by a reader. Writing is a public act performed in private and received in private. Do you account for your reader's needs? Do your words encourage or demean the reader? So your tone is just as much a part of your voice as everything else is. And you have to be careful. Um, I love sarcasm. It's very difficult to do that in print, though, because we don't have a sarcasm font. Um, and so you have to be careful that what you're saying is what you actually mean. Okay. Um, Editing is a physical act, whether you do it online, on your computer, or pen and paper, right? You, the writer goes in and rearranges the furniture. Um, some global issues, maybe point 3 needs to be point 2 or point 5. You have to think about looking at the paragraphs that come before, the paragraph that comes after, and making sure that it fits, making sure that it's logical, not just for you, but for your reader. Okay. So make sure you do all of this before you turn in your final draft. Not too bad, right? Okay, so revising for voice, have a little fun with your paper, make sure that it sounds like you. Now, my caveat to this, it should not just sound like you write like you talk. Make sure that you're using the conventions that everybody goes by, periods, capital letters, that kind of stuff. This is not a text to a friend. This is formal English, but it can be fun. Okay, so keep that in mind. Keep your eyes on the prize here, right? If you have questions, let me know.